Happy Saturday, folks. So, I've had a very productive morning, but then again, considering how awesome last night was, sort of a little give and take there. So, at like 3:30 this morning, because I knew I was going to make myself some breakfast, right? And, go to my refrigerator to get ready to move a couple things, and one of my jars of pickles fell on the ground. Yep. So there's like glass and brine everywhere. I've been literally up for almost 4 hours. Like making sure everything's clean and everything. And as long as I was up, might as well make my breakfast. It's actually ready to go. I'm just doing this video first. So I've had a very productive morning. So if you can tell, losing one of my jars, and it's one of my good jars too, the ones I'm saving for like gifts and stuff. I only had like 35 left, and now it's down to 34. So, look, honestly, ever since I made pickles last time, I said I didn't want to make pickles for a long time. But ever since I made that simple brine, I'm like, if I make pickles again, I'll just keep it simple. So, I guess I'm probably just going to do it sooner than I thought I would. But, and not to mention, my vacuum, the wand on my vacuum works, when you have, you pull out the wand, and you can actually add, an extender to it, and you can sort of, get rid of, suck up all the, tiny pieces of glass and stuff. But the actual, big thing that you push, for whatever reason, it doesn't work. To put it bluntly, my vacuum sucks because it doesn't suck. Again, the wand works. You can get tiny pieces of, dirt and, in this case, glass. But, watch. Watch. I did a great job of trying to clean up my kitchen. At some point, I'm probably going to step on a piece of glass. And with my luck, it's going to be in my bare feet too, because of course it is. And not to mention, trying to clean up the brine, I use a whole lot of Windex to clean everything up. I use almost an entire roll of paper towels to make sure everything is clean. But yeah, needless to say, I'm definitely going to be exhausted for a little while. I might even be too tired to eat. I don't know if I'll be too tired to eat. Might as well just, I don't know. But that's my low. Low, jar of pickles broke, very sad. My high, however, actually, it gets even worse with my low, because after I make my breakfast, I think to myself, considering that it's a jar, it's a broken glass jar, maybe I should consider taking out, or at least picking up the garbage bag inside the garbage can, just in case that, maybe the glass tore a hole in the plastic of the bag. It did. So I had to carry my entire garbage can out to my dumpster, where the dumpster next to my apartment building. The entire can, dump out the can, try and shake off whatever brine is in there. And I had to clean out the inside of my garbage can. So, yeah, I've done a lot this morning. But enough about that. I want to talk about my high. And my act of kindness. Because my act of kindness was, I did a few errands for my grandmother. But my high, last night, I went to Cabin Fever. Woo! Went to Cabin Fever. I actually went to Cabin Fever, and let's just say this year, so much better than a year ago. For starters, it was warm. Last year, even for how much I drank last year, I can still remember how cold this hand was last year. This hand could probably cool a person's drink if I put it in someone's drink. That's how cold it was. But yesterday it was warm. It was very, very, very high. I think he even got like past 60 at one point. I mean, the wind was cold, but I still wore a jacket anyway, so I was fine. And also, this was key. Before I went to Wegmans and got myself a big bag of those like veggie straws. I thought I was gonna fall for it. I thought this was gonna fall. Okay, I'll keep it right here. So I got like a big bag of those like veggie straws, and I'm like constantly eating them as I'm going from place to place all throughout Market Street. So by the time I was done, I did feel very slightly buzzed, but not nearly as bad as a year ago. And not to mention, some places did have food available, cheese and crackers and stuff. So, I was good. After that, I went to my folks' place. Actually, before I do that, let me talk about all the places to cabin fever. There was one secret location that's not listed on here. I went to of the 28 possible places I could have gone, I went to 26 of them. You're probably wondering, why didn't I go to the last two? Because I start from the Radisson, and I went all the way to the very end of Market Street where Bottles and Corks is. Bottles and Corks is the last place I went to. The last two places were way on the other side of the bridge in town, way on the other side of town, over the bridge. I'm like, I'm not walking all the way there. No way. I've done enough. I banged out 26 places over the span of an hour and 15 minutes. I'm good. And, I did stop at a couple places, but, so the two places I didn't go to were Carrie's Brew House and the Brick. That's just too far to walk. I don't want to have to walk all the way back to my car parked at the Radisson. And this is a lot, this is 5 blocks. I'm not doing that. Just what I did was 5 blocks. It's probably it's probably another entire length of Market Street to go from, Bottles and Corks to Carrie's Brew House, which is, also in that last area I didn't go to. So, no offense. I'm sure Carrie's Brew House is awesome. I'm sure the Brick is awesome. I'm just not walking all the way there. So, with all that said, shout out to the Radisson Hotel, Big Ink, Finger Lakes Unique, Pip's Squeak, Pink Bellini, Maley's Pub, Pip's Boutique, Warren Real Estate, Volo Bar and Lounge, Marriage Music, Swan & Sons Moore's Company Incorporated, John G. Ullman and Associates, Pure Design, Bedcat Studios at the Glass Menagerie, Rabbit Row Yarns and Haberdashery, Liquid Shoes Brewing, where I saw a very dear friend of mine there, Connor's Mercantile, Card Carrying Books and Gifts, I'll talk about that one in a second, the Quincy Exchange, Outlook Metaphysical Shop, and that one place that's right next to Old World. And there's one place right next to Old World that's not listed on here. Iron Flamingo Barrel House, Sorter's Restaurant, Vertex Hot Glass Studio, Oaks Sports Bar, and Bottles and Corks for hosting all the places that were there. And now shout out to Fox Run Winery and Hollerhorn Distilling, Staggering Unicorn Winery, Hazlitt 1852 Vineyards, Crooked Lake Distilling. I have been there before. It's really cool. Woodlawn Distilling, Barrelhouse 6 Distillery, Bully Hill Vineyards. Love Bully Hill Vineyards. Finger Lake Cider House. That really good cider. Liquid Shoes Brewing, Athletic Brewing Company, Tubtown Brewing LLC, Wagner Valley Brewing Company, Toast Winery, Cook and Tuster Distillery, Finger Lakes Distilling, did that tasting there for rye. Liquid Shoes Brewing, also for giving out the beer, obviously. Brewing Ardens, Heron Hill Winery. Heron Hill is actually where my brother had his wedding. There was one place, the place at Quincy Exchange, I can't remember what it was. Dr. Constantine Frank Distiller Winery, Dr. Constantine, Frank Winery, Lakewood, where Outlook is, Iron Flamingo Brewery, Fulkerson Winery, Iron Ridge Winery, Hazlitt 1852 Vineyards, and Southern Tier Brewing, and Saratoga Eagle Wine for the amazing products that you guys all had. That was a lot to get to. But you like to the shout out to the people of the Gaffer District for putting on this event. Like, this could have been done without the men and women behind the scenes. So they deserve a major, major, major shout out for sure. But yeah, I can't remember everything I had. Like, I had like peach wines and strawberry wines and apple pie moonshine and several different kinds of whiskey and several IPAs. Like, I could go like on and on and on. But it was wonderful. So it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. I had a blast. It's a shame that more stuff like this doesn't happen. But I get why they do it at this time of year. For those of you wondering what cabin fever is, it's basically a means for everyone to be out and about. Because even though the weather's been pretty mild this winter, it's still winter. It can be cold. It can be depressing. People want to do nothing but stay indoors and keep to themselves instead of going out and have fun. This is a means to put a little spring in everyone's step. Go out, have fun, have a great time. Sample some of the best from, again, all the different beer and tasting locations and the beer, wine, and all sorts of spirits that they had. This is a great way to have fun on a Friday night in late February. And with that, that was probably the best Friday. The best, for a last Friday in February, it was about as great as you could hope to be. And for me, the night wasn't even over yet. I went to my folks' place for a little bit. My mom made a broccoli and Swiss cheese soup. I had a bowl of it, but then I went to a Nick's for their fish fry, which, Nick's fish fry, still the best. Went over to Illegal Tap House for a little while, saw some friends there. Again, for a Friday night in February, the last Friday in February, it was about as great as you would want it to be. Considering everything that happened a week and a half before, if February were to end right now, I would say it was another great month. I really would. There's still several things we got to do left, and I'll talk more on that on Thursday for Leap Year Day. But yeah, honestly, right now it's kind of a shame that there's nothing going on tonight. I'm still gonna go out. I'm still gonna be with I'm still gonna go see my family tonight. That's gonna be fun. Gonna go with my family to dinner at Sorge's to watch my nephews. Actually, I saw my nephews last night too. It was awesome. Honestly, it was a perfect Friday night. Also, a couple things I want to talk about. At Liquid Shoes Brewery, I mentioned I saw a dear friend of mine. To my dear friend, who also happens to be one of the many members of the Blythe family. It was great to see you again. Even though I literally just saw you on Sunday. So it was great. And seriously, this is probably the most shout outs I've ever done in a single video. Seriously. Man, I'm so glad I kept this list. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna be in for. Wait, did I mention Sorge's? Oh yeah, Sorge's. I went to Sorge's last night. I'm gonna go to Sorge's tonight too. So Yeah, I mean, again, I'm still gonna be with my family. It's still gonna be fun. Still gonna, I'm probably gonna go out after I see them. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do, something. So, yeah, I will admit, even considering what happened way early this morning, I'm still feeling really happy. Again, I guess it's kind of karma for having something as good as last night happening. But you know what? It's well worth the trade-off. It is. I mean, yeah, it's only one jar of pickles. Again, I have 34 more where that one came from. It's just, if I'm running low and want to give a jar for a gift, I might be in trouble there. But I can worry about that when I get to it. Plus, I can always make more. I can totally always make more pickles. In fact, I've already been kind of thinking about making them again, even though I just made 52 jars a couple weeks ago. So, I'm feeling really excellent. Just enjoy this day. Probably take a nap considering what happened this morning. Get some breakfast. This is, I think, yesterday was the perfect last Friday in February. I think I'm going to do what I can to still salvage this Saturday and make it perfect. Even for what happened this morning, I think Saturday's going to be perfectly imperfect. But only time will tell. So I hope you like this video. If you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble in this video. For all of you guys watching your video, hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.